Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. One time for the one time. Yes, man. Hit Boy on the track. And yeah, man, we're back. So a couple things I wanted to address that I had made mental note of in the previous video, and previous couple videos that I said and want to expound on. First off, in the previous video, I mentioned that I don't know where game 56 is. That's a lie. And I had a spot playing where I was supposed to explain all that to you. But either way, game 56 was a game against the Celtics. And I didn't record it. I wasn't recording it, but it was just a bad game, right? Derek White absolutely harangued me. I mean, clamped me up, you know, put me in a box and what have you, and just made life miserable for me. I literally fouled out in the doggone game. I got no VC. It was just horrible, and we lost. And it was at home, and they beat us like 140 something points or something like that, right? It was just ugly. It was harsh. It was bad. I think it was mostly because I was kind of disappointed with All-Star Weekend. I didn't really talk too much about that. I was, you know, discussing various other things within the All-Star Weekend. But for the most part, I was a little disappointed in myself, particularly in the three-point contest, right? Rising Stars, I wasn't disappointed in myself, right? I was like, you know, Rising Stars, do what we do, right? Couldn't really get my shot the way I wanted, but it was no issue for me. It was like, whatever. This All-Star game, I didn't really care, right? It was what it was, right? But the dunk contest, like I said, I never get an attempt in the dunk contest. I never convert an attempt, so it was kind of like par for the course. Would have liked to get one, but whatever. But the three-point contest, I thought I really trained and mastered my jump shot and making it to the three. I was just excited about that, and to only make 5 points, basically 3 bucks, it was just demoralizing a little bit. And I feel like, I know that's not really the case on the game, but it feels like maybe if this was the real NBA, I'd have exposed myself, right? So yeah, you know, they're not gonna guard me the same or whatever. But anyway, you know, I basically wet the bed and embarrassed myself in a three-point contest. At least that's how I felt. So going into that Celtics game, I just kind of had like that All-Star Weekend hangover, right? So it was just sort of a situation where I just wasn't very pleased with, again, the three-point contest. But it's neither here nor there. There's no excuse to mail it in. And as you see, I changed up my format, right, for how I'm presenting my videos, right? Because we know what I'm capable of, right? I feel like I've made my point as a finisher at the rim, right? You know I'm gonna run this play, right? You know I'm gonna get THT right there behind Lonzo, and I'm just gonna get the ball on a give and go cut to the basket and dunk it. And the theme generally is that the points, the games are just either not close, sometimes they'll be close, but as long as I'm on point with this cut here, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna handle business. I'm gonna win the game on Hall of Fame mode. So I just felt like, especially when it's a blowout, which a lot of these games tend to be.
Now that's a level of effort on the defensive end we haven't seen before tonight. What's the difference out there?
You know, I feel like, guys are, trying their best, man. Some days, things work and you're really in the flow of the game. Other days, it's just harder. Today was one of the good days.
You look hungry, especially breaking up the play and going the other way.
Yeah, man, I was just trying to stay in the moment, anticipate where the ball wanted to go, and just, put myself in that position to succeed.
Well done.
Thanks, my man.
Yeah, man, I was talking, I stopped, right? Because I wanted to let you hear that. I wanted to hear it if I watched it, right? Got some more VC. But yeah, I just felt like a lot of the games that I'm playing, pretty much if they're a blowout, or simply put, I'm doing the same thing over and over, right? Why not just show you the fourth quarter, right? Instead of showing you the full game or trying to get the highlights. Plus it was also just sort of like in my haste to edit down a lot of the videos that I had piling up on my system in order to, because there was one point in time where, I don't know if I mentioned this, but there was an update that 2K24 had just recently that I couldn't even download because I had so much stuff on my system. So instead of trying to go through the entire video to get a good 3-minute clip of each game in a lazy way, so to speak, I started to come to the realization, hey, you know, I've shown you about 40, 50 games of me maybe like 20 games of me doing this consistently. It's reasonable to assume this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to call the give and go. I'll typically come out of a fast break transition set and go into a half court offense. As you see me deciding on our lineup here, again, having to put Patrick Williams at center, right? And, you know, just run the play. And that's typically how we're able to step on teams' necks. We score pretty much every trip down the court. Like against me as the computer, right? Like the Golden State Warriors, they've hung tight. They've hung tough. They've scored on most of their trips, but they cannot play good enough defense to stop me from scoring 50 points, right? So the challenge now becomes, can you stop 3-8? Because especially if you're a team like the Warriors, who doesn't do nothing but take jump shots, and clearly guys are frustrated, they're not getting the ball, so they're staying in the paint, you know, steadily, you know, hanging out there, right? The question now becomes, are you going to make all your jump shots? And this is a video game, so realistically speaking, they could make all their jump shots. But the reality of it is, just like in real games on 2K, they do make a point of making it so that they can't make all their jump shots, right? So you're gonna miss a jumper. But a layup, you will hit a dunk, you will make that all night, barring maybe some like fatigue or something, right? So you might get a good clip for this one, because this game was pretty close. Look at that, Steph is pretty much being boxed, right? I finally, you know, give him enough space to get the ball there, maybe not intentionally. He's about to shoot, but the defense is just ridiculously good, right? And now they're committing more frustration fouls. They beat us. This is a revenge game. They beat us earlier in the season, but we come into and they did it in our house. We come into their house and we beat them soundly. I scored 61. And yeah, man, you know they're not happy about that, but there's nothing they can do. It's nothing you can do when we're on point, when I'm scoring at will. There's not a lot you can do, and that's just how it is, right? Right. But yeah, man, I just decided to show the fourth quarter, or if the game is good, or even if it is close, because I might not do that with a lot of the close games. With a lot of these games, I'll just pretty much go ahead and show you the fourth quarter, skip right ahead to the fourth quarter, right? And I can show you more of the fourth quarter highlights, right? If it's a close game, then it'll be like how the Warriors game was, just their close game in the fourth quarter. Or, you know, all the emotions of how it went throughout the game. You don't need to experience that, right? I don't really care. Nobody really cares. The story is all about who won the game. Let's take you right to where the main thick of the action is, right? Right. But yeah, man, another thing I wanted to talk about in this video that I had said last video, again on the Josh Giddey situation. I wanted to show you this. This is some foolishness. This ball went out of bounds. The play you just saw, you could rewind it, but the ball, look at this. The ball is over the line, or is on the line, and yeah, it hit the stanchion, bruh. And they did not call it. The referee standing right there, he did not call out of bounds. He didn't blow the ball dead. That didn't sound right, but he didn't blow the play dead. It does not matter. We're still up by 2 in the fourth quarter, but that's just some foolishness. That just shows you right there, the game be cheating. And I know as a grown man playing a video game, you can't really say that, especially if you're just gonna keep playing it. But if it's happening right there. I don't get the ball, I get a little error, but it's whatever. I'm gonna just come right back door again, and look at the cut. And the dunk on both of them. Nothing you can do to stop me, right? So yeah, man, like, you really need to see me do this all throughout the game, right? If anything, I need to show more of the opposing team's possessions where they just don't, you feel me, score the ball and we play great defense, right? That's probably what you need to see more of, right? But anyway, All-Star Weekend, we came off of it. This is, we've been getting our revenge and getting our minds right. in these last couple games, so I'm not worried about it anymore. In that one Kings game, they were at, I think it was that was the game, or it was the game, maybe the last video. They weren't really passing me the ball like that after I fouled out intentionally against the Celtics. They were kind of eerie with me, right? So I was like, whatever, right? So we take a look at Luka Doncic's point totals per game. They're pretty much at the high 30, 40, 50 mark, right? I believe he's still first in points, right? Because I'm coming for the scoring title. I want to be the league leader in points. We will get, I think we play 2 games against them later on in the season. Not in this video, but later on in the season, we'll play 2 games against these guys and be able to possibly bring his point total per game down just some, right? Because he might score 10, he might score 20. Luka, I noticed, scores like 20 consistently on 7-minute quarters if you play against him. So yeah. Oh yeah, and we are going up against them in this video, right? So I don't know what I'm talking about. I didn't watch the video beforehand. Anyway, I did want to talk about the Josh Giddey situation. In the last video, I mentioned that I think that they should pick Josh Giddey to build the team around, as you see us dominating against the Dallas Mavericks, right? I realized that that most likely is what they're going to do. Think about it. You trade the Thunder trade Josh Giddey. Obviously, they felt like we just don't need 2 ball-stopping guards, right? We don't need 2 guys, or we clearly don't seem to have the chemistry. I feel like Giddey might have not been playing defense or playing ball well on purpose because he was trying to get traded, playing like he's trying to get traded, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's probably what he did. He forced the Thunder's hand to get that trade. Nothing wrong with that if, you know, it works out. Otherwise, you're just out here playing like trash because you don't want to play for the team you play for. Well, you know, they can always go in a different direction. They can always cut you or just simply bench you. And, you know, a combination of both, and completely kill your stock to any potential suitors that might want to, you know, look to employ your services, right? Nonetheless, Josh Giddey, he was traded for a very key asset on our team, a 2-way defensive standout. Albeit Caruso is not a young guy and Giddey is, the facts of the matter still stand. I think it was Microphone I was watching who said that this was a steal for the Bulls. It is a steal, right? We completely fleeced the OKC Thunder, and we get a rematch against the Clippers here at home. And mind you, it might have just been because the Thunder are so confident in Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, like completely saying, you're our guy, Shai, right? That they've not only decided to make him the #1 guy with no competition whatsoever, but they've looked to get a piece to help build around him. And, you know, they shipped Giddey off to Siberia, right? That's how you do it, right? Don't trade a guy like him in the West, right? Ship him off to Siberia as we blow the Clippers out this game. They had a decent little outing against us with some help from the Zebras, but this time around we handled business, right? So when you ship a piece like that off, Caruso would have been a great piece to use to build around Giddey. But in my mind, it does seem like the Bulls are going to build the team around Josh Giddey, right? I think that he's going to start showing he can play defense now, because how can you not play defense with the mobility of a guard, the skill set of a guard, and the height of most wing fours in today's NBA? That's a load of crap, right? He can play defense. Like I said, he was just putting on, you know, a front, or, you know, not playing ball because he didn't want to be in OKC. Whatever. He's now out. I hope he starts playing the way he should, right? And I think that the Bulls are going to make it happen, right? With Giddey, right? So as far as I'm concerned, it is a steal for us. We just got to continue to build a team around him. Guys like Levine, I don't know if he's going to stick around, right? DeMar DeRozan, right? It's good to have him if he stays, but, you know, he might not. Nothing wrong with having players like them because they are good for depth purposes. Same thing with like Kobe White, Ayo Dosunmu. But you do kind of want to be like the Thunder and just pick this guy as your guy and say, hey, this is our guy, no competition, or get it understood for the rest of these guys. Hey, you guys are good, but we're going with this dude, right? This is our guy. So anyways, I'm gonna get up out of here, get at me, and function with your boy.